studio.
With the Deacon live.
Right now. Ready? Yes.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, I spent another 3 days in jail. And, by the way, I'm a bachelor again. And what are people stealing from your house? And this week in beaches. Beaches like the coast where the water meets the land type stuff. I know. It's the cold season and stuff like that. But welcome back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. My name is the Deacon. You can call us at any time at 407-448-8800. Text us live at any time in the Queen City studio located just outside of Charlotte in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Make sure you follow us on all our Facebook pages, our Twitter pages, our Instagram pages, and the way you do that is to go to ProphetRadio.com. Text messages are already coming in. And ProphetRadio.com and click on all the social network stuff that does that goes on there. So how are you? Are you ready? You only got a couple more days left before Christmas Day, Christmas Eve. What do you guys do on Christmas Eve? What do you guys do on Christmas Day? A lot of times, growing up, we would spend Christmas Eve with my dad's side of the family, and then Christmas Day we would spend with my mom's side of the family. But, you get older and everyone gets married and people branch off and stuff. And then that whole tradition goes out the window, probably maybe in your, 16, 17, 18, when you start dating or you start going on to college or junior college or whatever your life plans got for you, or if you got married, or what do you do? But for the most part, that's what we used to do. Now here at the Franch, it's just me and my wife. Normally Teacher Man would be here. I know I keep talking about Teacher Man, but he was a big part of our life, big influence in my life. And of course, it's my wife's father, my father-in-law, and he passed away this past year, and so now it's just me and my wife. So what do you do? I mean, it's all our family's in Florida. Her nieces and sister-in-law came up for Thanksgiving, and I don't really talk to my family as much as anymore. But it's just me and my wife, and we were talking about going on trips. We were talking about traveling for for Christmas, and doing all that kind of cool stuff. When it's just the two of you, instead of buying gifts and stuff. But this year we did something a little different. We did something, I say we did something. We said, don't buy me a gift. Okay, I won't buy you a gift. Don't buy me a gift. Okay, because, when you're married, I never understood that either. It all comes out of it's all one account. Now, I know some people, even to this day, some people are in their 50s and 60s, been married for 20 some odd years, and they have a separate bank account. That's my money. That's his money. That's her money. She agrees to pay for the house. I agree to pay for utilities, the cable, and all the other stuff, and any of the stuff that the kids got going on. Like outdoor curricular activities and stuff, which I just found was weird, but I guess it's a cultural thing where you have separate bank accounts. I mean, that basically says, at any given time, I can haul ass on you, or you can haul ass on me, or how would that work in a divorce court? If you're married and you have two separate bank accounts, everyone kind of shakes hands and splits their ways. But I don't know. It's just a weird situation when I hear about people talking about separate bank accounts and separate things. So my wife and I this year, we decided to do something for ourselves, something we haven't done in a very long time. When I say a very long time, we've been together for, oh God, she's going to listen to this and go, you know how long we've been together. I'm going to say 14 years. We've been married coming up this year 2020 will be 6 years that we've been married, and I've known her for 9 years prior to that. Now, if you listen to past podcasts, don't worry about that. But I remember when you're young, you get out on your own, you always buy like used furniture or garage sale furniture, or here come the text messages. I told you, 407-448-8800. Text us live at any time at the Queen City studio at that same number. Now, he always got like used furniture, hand-me-down furniture and stuff like that. Now this, honestly, outside of a waterbed that I bought in, I think 1999, like a brand new waterbed, big wooden trim and the semi-motionless and the big wooden headboard with the mirrors. It was in 99. It was in 98. We're coming out of the 90s, and I bought this real nice, because all I had was like a full-size bed, full, twin, queen, full. I had a full bed, and I was making a little bit of money at the time, working for another radio station. I said, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to a nice big king-size bed. So I bought one. That was the only real piece of furniture, brand new piece of furniture that I've ever bought. Everything else has been handed down and stuff. Now, so my wife and I said, what are we doing this year? Don't buy me anything. I won't buy you anything. Don't buy me anything. I won't buy you anything. We agreed, saying together, we were like, all right, babe, what do you want to do? You know what? We've been in this house now for 5 years out here on the French, and the furniture that we have was one of those clearance things that Ashley Furniture had, where it was like a floor model, and you could see there's like not tears or anything, but you could see it was a little worn, a little shop worn. And the love seat that we had that matched it was a little worn, didn't really match. Like it was two different lot numbers. It was leather furniture, leather furniture, but the lot numbers really didn't, or the lot colors really didn't match very well. In a dark room, it doesn't matter. You're sitting on it, who cares? So we decided that we were going to buy new furniture. When I say buy new furniture, we bought a whole new, what we have to call now the physical, quote unquote, living room space. Living room, we bought this real nice corner or an L-shaped couch / chaise lounger / deep cushions, the ones where when you sit in it, even people that are like 6 feet tall, their legs don't hit the floor because the cushions are really, really deep. Oh, excuse me. But it's a leather couch. We have to have leather couches. I say we have to have leather couches because we have animals. Now, granted, hey, Deacon, you're not supposed to have animals up on your brand new furniture. Well, then you can have any kind of furniture. We like the leather furniture. We like the way it feels. We like it when it's hot outside to sit on the leather furniture. When it's cold outside, we like to stick blankets and stuff on it. I know it's really, really weird. In Florida, for the longest time, it was unheard of for you to have a car with leather seats. Now, leather seats is all over the place. So we bought a brand new L-shaped something from the local furniture place up here in the Charlotte area. Now, with that, we also bought, oh God, here we go. We also bought in what we call her office and when I still play my little video games and stuff. So we have this, I think it's probably maybe 300 square feet office. I don't know how big it is, but it's a good size room. It's a good size open. If you were to have a studio apartment, this would what a studio apartment would look like. It's huge, big area. It used to be a garage attached to the house, and they decided not to make it a garage. So they just, finished the floors and finished everything. It's a huge part of the house. It's connected to the house. If I told you it was a garage, you'd never believe it was a garage. So we bought these huge theater chairs. You've seen them. The ballers have them. Not that I'm a baller, but you've seen like the real nice big leather fluffy, real nice to sit in. They stand on their own. You don't need a matching piece of furniture or anything with them. And they recline all the way back. And the headrest is like, literally like the whole chair is like 4 foot wide behind your head. It's like 4 foot wide. It's these big cushion things. So we bought these 2 new chairs for ourselves to treat ourselves because we haven't had new furniture for a very long time. So now we have all this new furniture. And we also have, well, Deacon, why did you buy these huge chairs, the theater chairs? Well, because we bought ourselves, I'm not going to say it's a big TV. A lot of people joke about, how big their TV is and stuff. Not Black Friday, Amazon Sunday or Amazon Monday, whatever the Cyber Monday was really, really good to us. And so we bought a nice TV that mounts to the wall, and it's a good size. It's a good size. It literally takes up. I know if you're like at the pit's end, you're like going, I'm done. I'm done listening to him. Done listening to Deacon talk about his theater chairs and his 97. I think it's 102. I think it's 102-inch flat screen TV. It's one of the. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it, but it's on the wall. And I'm laying in bed, and my wife and I, after I've got it mounted and stuff, had the neighbor kid come over and help me. After it was mounted and stuff, I sat there and I go, well, how would anyone, it's already mounted on the wall, and here I have these two guys delivering this furniture to the house at the time. So you always worry about someone weird coming in your house, especially out here on the French, because we're like out in the middle of nowhere. Anytime we can see cars coming a mile away, but you always worry about when you bring someone into your world. What are they looking at? Because I know I've been in other people's houses and I kind of look in the corners, but I'm very judgmental. I'm very judgmental about when I look at people and what I do when I'm in their houses. And so they leave, and I'm like, talking about, we're doing pillow talk, and I'm like going, babe, even if someone was to break into this house, how would they, and they wanted that, how would they steal it? How would you steal this thing? And I'm sorry, I'm messing with stuff here on the counter. It's making noise. How would you get this thing, first of all, off the wall? Second of all, you would need at least 3 people, no lie, 3 people to carry this thing out the door. Now, every entrance to our house has 5 steps to get up because we're an elevated house. It's the way they build houses in North Carolina. Don't ask me why. My wife will tell you because of flooding, which doesn't make any sense, but that's what she'll tell you. So how would you steal this size TV? And for the most part, here come the text messages. And for the most part, when they break into your house, I mean, what are people grabbing? What are they? I mean, unless they absolutely knew what was going on in your house. And when we come back, I'm gonna get into that and all other good things that are happening here on the Deacon Live Show. So stick around. I'll be right back.
Prophet Radio.
Hey guys, this is the Deacon. Welcome to Prophet Radio's Unnecessary Christmas Music.
This is gonna be the best Christmas ever!
You can call us at 407 448 8800.
You could be the one. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba,
And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all.
Merry Christmas. Have a Christmas with glee.
Nothing.
Internet radio. I do not like internet radio.
I'm trying to listen to DJ Donna Summer and.
It's not happening?
Nah. The Prophet Radio thing. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, no.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good, man. hold on, because I'm not live on the air. I'm live.
I know you're not.
Yeah, I've got DJ Donna Summer playing on live on a thing. Yeah,
I got
that's from the Letter Kenny thing. So hold on, we're coming back. You ready?
Okay.
All right. You all right? Got it?
I'm good.
All right.
Sitting here watching live PD, drinking beer.
No, that's awesome.
Wait. Yeah. Waiting on the boss to get home.
All right, hold on.
All right. Go shopping.
Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Give us a call at the station anytime at 407-448-8800. Text us live at any time at the Queen City studio located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Make sure you become a member of our show here. And the way you do that is go to ProphetRadio.com and click on the members only section. And one of the things you can do is we were talking about the stuff that you buy when you're just two people on your own. You have no, I don't want to say kids or anything like that, but just you and your wife, or you and your husband, or you and your other. You just buy something for yourself. On the phone with us right now, we have Shane from the People for the Ethical Treatment of Shane. Shane, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing all right. And if you're watching this on the under the tent, you can see Shane. I got a big picture of him here, so you can see exactly who we're talking to. So Shane,
Really?
So Shane, it's a very flattering picture.
I'm sure it is.
So
I can't wait to go see this.
So Shane, are you ready for the holidays?
No.
What do you mean no?
I have to, well, I mean, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Christmas, but if you're asking if I've got my shopping done, then no, I have none finished.
Now, why do you wait so late to have your shopping done?
Oh, well, some would say it's because I'm stupid. I just don't like getting out in the crowds, and I don't know what to get her. She does the shopping for the degenerates in the house.
Now, when you say degenerates, what is that? Your kids?
Yeah,
Why do you call them degenerates?
because they're worthless.
They're not worthless. They're your kids.
They're my worthless kids. We have had this discussion before. This is not any news to you.
No. So, have you bought her anything?
No, I haven't got her anything yet.
Now, I have a question for you. Now, how long have you two been married?
27 years in January.
Now, really, congratulations. Now, do you guys have a separate bank account, or is it a joint bank account?
It's joint.
It's joint, right?
Yeah.
So most people have a joint bank account.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen people that have been married for 15 years, 10 years, even 20 some odd years, like you guys have been married, always had like a separate bank account? Like, oh, that's her money and that's his money and that's his money and that's her. I'll pay for this and I'll pay for that.
Yeah, my parents.
Do they really? How old are your parents? I mean, how long have they been married? Forever,
40.
I hope.
45 years, I think.
And they have a separate bank account, the two of them?
Yeah, but they hate each other.
But what do you know the reason behind the separate bank accounts?
Because they hate each other.
Why'd they get married?
I ask them that every day.
Do you
they
really?
don't
Like
sleep
every
on-
day? Oh, honey, hold on. I got to ask my parents. Why did they get married?
Well, not literally, but I'm the only child.
Right, so am I.
So, well, congratulations. But they really don't like each other. They fight and argue and cuss each other out all the time.
Well,
Well, he does the cussing, she doesn't. But
Well, maybe
they
that's
have
the way they express their love for each other. You know, it's find someone that you like that can put up with your shit and fight with them every day.
Well, no, I mean he gets abusive sometimes. I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring the audience down.
No. They've never. Honestly, I don't know why in the world they're still married. They've never gotten along. Maybe it's just a marriage of convenience at this point. But yeah, they sleep in separate beds and have separate checking accounts.
Now, you know what I used to do when my parents' anniversaries would come around? I'd always like to do the math. You know, okay, this is their, 15th anniversary. I'm how old? Just to see if I was born out of wedlock and see if they could keep that lie going.
Mm-hmm.
And I was.
How'd that work out for you?
I was born under wedlock. Is it under wedlock? Is that what you call it? Under marriage breaches?
Out of wedlock.
Well, I mean, there's out of wedlock, and then if you were married in wedlock, because my parents were, let's say it was their 15th year anniversary, and I was 13 at the time of their 15th year anniversary. I always used to do the math, and then when I turned 18 and moved out, I said, F this, I'm not keeping track anymore.
Are you sure your math is right?
They told me they would not be math during this.
Well, I mean, they could have very easily lied to you, and you just go, okay.
Right.
So, anyway.
So what have you?
You might want to look at a marriage license.
I'm not going through all that. I don't have enough shovels and rocks and stuff to dig up the stones that they sign their marriage certificate on.
Yeah, I get it.
All right. So you guys are going shopping?
Yes.
You got anything planned?
Well, probably what we're going to do, I'll end up splitting off and end up being Chevy Chase and a Christmas Vacation at the perfume counter.
Right.
And she'll go off and do something, and I'll have to, whatever I figure out that I'm going to get her, I'll have to try to sneak it in the trunk of my car.
So you're going to the mall, is what you're saying?
With her.
With her.
With her.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
Yeah, well, she won't let me do anything. I guess she thinks I'm a toddler or something. I mean, she won't let me go anywhere by myself.
Well, according to this picture, you look like a toddler that we have here.
I'm sure I got to go find that.
Well, the way you see this picture and all the conversation, all the video stuff that we're doing here on Deacon Live is go to ProphetRadio.com, click on Deacon Live, and there's a little section called Under the Tent, and all the videos from every show that we do, every podcast we do is available there as well. And this one will be available here probably in the next, well, Shane, we're talking in real time here, so give me a couple hours to edit this down, and it'll be done by nightfall.
Okay.
Anything else going on? How's work going?
It's going. Nothing's new, nothing's different. It's the same ridiculous, boring crap. Any
Christmas parties or anything planned for the old establishment?
No, we had a guy that would cook for us every Christmas, but he's gone.
That would be me.
Well, yeah. The grill has been parked, and the lady has decided that we're not going to eat anything this year.
So because I left, you guys don't have a Christmas party anymore?
That's pretty much true, yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, you guys are welcome here at the Franch at any time.
Yeah, well, we didn't have one last year either. Well, yeah, we did have one last year.
Yeah.
We were still there.
Yeah, because, what do you call him, Fat Boy? He cooked out for you guys.
Yeah, he did. That's right. Well, since you abandoned us, then everything's gone downhill.
I have a question for you. Has your house ever been broken into or robbed at any time?
My house?
Yeah,
no,
like
actually,
your physical establishment where you live.
No, actually, it has not, and that would not be a good idea to try to break in over here.
Okay. And growing up as a kid, was your childhood home or anywhere that you lived as a kid growing up, was that ever broken into?
No, we've always had guns.
well, I mean, that's where I'm going at here. I was talking about, we bought this brand new TV here at the Franch. It's one of the, Shane, you don't want to know how big this stupid thing is.
75 inches, I bet.
Nope.
Did you get the 96er?
Nope.
It's over 100.
So we got this new TV, and it mounts to the wall, and I was laying in the bed with my wife, because she lets me, and I was actually discussing, if someone was to break into this house, how would they get that TV out of the house? It took 3 people for me to mount it to the wall. Who would break in, and who steals TVs anymore? I mean, you go to Walmart, a nice size TV is like $150. Now, back in the day, people used to steal TVs and VCRs and all that stereo equipment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's, first of all, you're right. Who's going to try to muscle a over 100-inch TV out of the house? There's other things that they're going to go after.
And that's what I was saying about the guns. You said you had guns in your house. That would be one thing that I would think that someone would break in. If they knew that you had guns in the house, they would break in to steal those guns. That would be the only thing. Because the people don't break in to steal, like, stereo equipment. People don't break in to steal, even like the here in the studio, I've got this. I'm really digging a hole for myself. Here in the studio, I've got like a 42-inch monitor that I run, do all the stuff for my computer monitor. But a 42-inch monitor or a 42-inch flat screen TV you can get for under $100 now. Now, what am I going to do? If I'm a crackhead, I'm going to risk my life to break into a house to find this TV, to rip it off the wall, to go down the street and sell it for $20. I don't see people stealing TVs anymore. Stereo systems are out the door. Now, granted, you might have Bluetooth and all those speakers, but crackheads don't know unless they're really, really smart and they've been reading like the Wall Street Journal. But I don't see them getting, coming inside and stealing technology stuff anymore.
I don't either. First of all, you might want to back away from the 42-inch monitor.
Why is that?
Because you're going to get some sort of exposure burn or something. But anyway, Now, are we talking like breaking into the house in the middle of the day when nobody's there, or when people are there?
Either way, breaking in the house at night and breaking in during the day. Now, during the day, you always hear, I say during the day, you've heard here in the past year that like recording artists or football players, like the Gronk, when he was doing the Super Bowl, someone came in and raided his whole house. Now, that had to be an inside job.
I would think so, because they live in these gated communities and these big houses, and locks on the doors, and all that CPI security,
right,
kind of stuff. So,
well, we've got cameras all over the house. Everything's uploaded to the cloud, or a cloud, or some kind of off-site storage. So it's funny because I've got actually a little monitor right here that sees people that drive, if they drive down the driveway. I got a little monitor right here because the studio's on one side of the house and the driveway's on the other side of the house, and it'll light up, and I'll see, oh, look, there's someone wants to touch the horses or whatever. So,
well, people are not. I mean, as soon as you walk into my house, there's a series of laser beams and landmines. So, I mean,
so the only one that can break into your house is Catherine Zeta-Jones and Sean Connery.
Yep. And I originally had those put in to keep the kids out. And
how'd that work out for you?
We had a mess one day, but we got it cleaned up.
All right. Before I let you go, here at Deacon Live, we've been doing, we got the new year coming up. We don't do, what am I going to do? I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to gain more weight. I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to drink more. I'm going to stop doing drugs. I'm going to do more drugs. I'm going to, be nicer to people and be worse to people.
Who sets out to gain weight?
You never know. There's a couple of anorexics out there going, I can do it. I can do it. I'm going to eat both cheeseburgers. So
throw it out.
Yeah, the top bun and the bottom bun. So we do predictions here on Deacon Live. So right now I'm going to turn it over to you. We do predictions for 2020. It could be whatever. It could be a personal prediction, not like I predict myself losing 20 pounds, but you can do predictions like, for example, I was watching old episodes of The Office, and they were talking about, do you even own a DVD player? And, you could say DVD players are going to be, in 2005, they'll be obsolete. So just something in general, prediction for 2020, anything that you can think of that you're like, driverless cars are going to be more available or something like that. So give it to me right now. Shane from the People for the Ethical Treatment of Pets, pets. Sorry, pets. People for the Ethical Treatment of Shane with your 2020 prediction. Go.
I predict that someone will come up with a hybrid marijuana that, when smoked, will allow you to see into other dimensions.
Interesting. And that'll happen in 2020.
Ish, maybe December 30th, 2020.
See, I would have said not. I'm not taking anything away from you, but I would have said that once the impeachment and everything falls flat, that legalized marijuana would be the next federal thing on the docket.
That's possible.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Shane. Well, you have a good holidays, and we'll talk to you hopefully before the end of the year.
Okay.
All right. Yep. Talk to you later.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Right.
And that's Shane for the People for the Ethical Treatment of Shane, and with his predictions and stuff, and about people breaking into your house. Now, I want to tell a little story when we come back about when my house was broken into as a child, and we'll get into all the other stuff about me being in jail and all the other stuff here on Deacon Live. Stick around. I'll be right back.
I do not like internet radio.
Welcome to ProphetRadio's Unnecessary Christmas Music. If you like what you hear, and so the feeling grows, or don't care what you hear, you can call us at the station at any time. Follow us on Facebook as well. Prophet Radio.
Let's pretend that didn't happen.
Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live. Give us a call at the station at any time at 407-448-8800. Text us live at any time at the Queen City studio located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, all our Instagrams, all our Facebooks, and all the stuff that connects us to you and you to us. Become a member of the podcast as well. Go to the members only section, and you can see some of the pictures that, hold on. I gotta write that down because that was funny. Post picture of Shane. And you can see another picture here that I'm going to talk about here in a few minutes. Now, for those of you out there that, let's see. So as a child, one day I came home and we were talking about people breaking into your house and what do they steal and what do they physically look for and stuff. Now, unless you knew exactly what was going on inside the house, for the most part, people don't really break into people's houses anymore and steal unless it's an inside job and someone wants a certain thing. Like they know you've got a jar full of pennies sitting on the counter or a jar full of coins sitting on the counter and they want that thing. Or like Shane was talking about, that you've got guns in the house and they know exactly where your guns are. If no one's home, they look for that. As far as electronics, I don't see or think that people, desperate people, break into homes anymore to steal electronics. Now, when I was growing up, I would come home from school every day. I was a latchkey kid. I had to come home and lock the door as soon as I got home. Now, one day I came home and our house, the front door was wide open. And we had like a little front porch there where the front door was here, but 6 feet to the left was a side door. And the side door led into a garage, but the garage was, you can see the motif, was turned into a living quarter. That's what they did in the early 80s. And that was our TV room. Now the TV room, the stereo equipment was gone. And when I say stereo equipment, you've seen like shows or movies like Boogie Night where they had these elaborate, speakers on top of tuners, on top of amplifiers. But that stuff was hard to get by. It was hard to get because of technology, and technology was so expensive back then that people would break into people's houses and steal this stuff. Now, I don't know. Nothing else was taken from the house other than when I was growing up. I think I was like 12 or 13 years old. Came home and noticed that the door was kind of ajar, and the stereo, not the TV, not the big TV that we had in there at the time. I think it was a 28 TV, but it was one of those, what they call CRCs with the big brain in the back. The things weigh like 400 pounds. No, but it was the stereo equipment. You could see where they pulled everything out and cut it. Same thing with car stereos. Car stereos, remember, cars were getting broken into all the time, and car stereos were being either ripped out or pulled out. And then the evolution of stereos being pulled out and ripped out, you could either take the face off of the radio or you could actually pull the whole handle out, which was weird. You see these kids in the mall walking around with their car stereo, the whole car stereo, walking around like it's a purse or a handbag. And some even the Pioneer speakers or the stereos got real fancy. There was a cover, so you didn't have to see all the metal and stuff wrapped around it. So it was just the evolution of theft, I guess. And talking about the evolution of theft, or the evolution all in general, you ever heard of this guy? His name is Gary. Hold on, I know. More options. Save. Now, talking about stealing, there was an incident in Riverside, California. A man who posed for a caricature. Now, do you know what a caricature is? Or caricature is? That's when if you're ever gone to SeaWorld or any kind of the parks or amusement parks or fairs or anything around town, there's a guy sitting there and he draws like your head like really, really big, and then draws like you on a skateboard or you windsurfing or you doing something like that. Now, this guy out in California sat down and said, hey, caricature guy, draw my face. Now, of course, most of these guys are cash in hand. And so when the guy was done drawing this person, the caricature guy was done drawing the guy. There's a lot of guys in this thing. The artist was done drawing the customer who came up. The customer went to go pay him, and actually, when the artist pulled out the wad of money to give him his change back, grabbed all of it, $500. Grabbed it from the artist and took off running. Now, what he forgot was he just left behind the one thing that gave him away. He actually left the cartoon image of himself that the artist just drew of him. So now, here we are. What's the value of something that you steal, or what are you stealing? This guy actually was looking for cash. So the Riverside Police Department in California was hoping that the image of the suspect, despite the exaggerated characteristics, would lead them to arrest. And if you want to see the picture of the guy, you can go to our members only section and click on that, and you can see the picture of the guy wanted for stealing $500 from the artist. That's crazy, though. He literally, it's better than the sketch artist. It's literally him sitting in this chair, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, here, take my money." Now, I was talking about artists. One of the famous artists that retired 24 years ago is now popping up again. Have you heard of Gary Larson? Gary Larson, when I was in high school and stuff, was one of the funniest next to, what's his name, Tom Davis or Don Davis or whatever that did Garfield and stuff. Gary Larson was one of those guys who was a little bit more cutting edge as far as his cartooning. Now, if you haven't heard of Gary Larson, you might have heard of his cartoon strip called The Far Side. The Far Side ran from 1982 all the way to 1995. And then he retired. Gary Larson said, I had a hard time gathering and keeping control over all my cartoons. People were posting them here. People were making copies and moving them here, moving them here, moving them here. So he just kind of, stepped back a little bit, and he was just worried about the simple fatigue of, creating this graveyard mediocre of cartoons. So he just kind of wrapped it up. Said, that's it. The emotional cost of work is having to work and offer up this stuff beyond my control. Now, what he's done now is he has launched, starting today, actually, I'm starting Tuesday, 3 days ago from today, he has started the Far Side comic strip. Larson thanked his fans for their patience and set up to explain why he's so late to the party. He admitted that he had some ambivalence about officially entering the online world. He said the security of the graphics are both better today than they were back in the early 1990s. Now, he said, I'm here finally, and everything's set up. So now he is going to post, it's a library of all 1,900 he's going to post everything that he's done from 1980 to 1995 in a library. And also, he said he's going to, as he feels like it, he doesn't want to be stressed about it, as he feels like it, he's going to start posting new updated stuff on the farside.com. And I said, well, let's see if it's up and running. So if you're watching this on the Under the Tent video, oh, there we are right there. Hi. There we are. The Far Side, the Far Side, of course, registered trademark, the Daily Dose. Selections of classic Far Side comics updated daily. So here we are from Friday, December 20th, 2019. and then there's a cartoon there, cartoon there. So there you go. I mean, he's one of the last people that created such an impact in the 80s and early 90s, is the last one to get on the bandwidth as far as getting online and getting a website based on, now there's fan pages, there's a lot of fan pages and stuff out there based on the Gary Larson and the Far Side comic strip. Now it's going to be all collected in one place, which is great because he was a great artist. I say great artist. The artistry is simple. The jokes are very, very dry, very, very funny in my opinion, because it kind of makes you look at things a little bit different than the average human does. And that drives my wife crazy because I do that all the time. When we come back, speaking of driving your wife crazy, I was in jail for 3 days, and when we come back, I'll talk about that here in just one sec. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. Make sure you get your predictions in for 2020. And our sponsor, I forgot to mention this earlier, nakedwines.com is extending their promotion for one more week. That means you've got all the way till December 27th to get your last minute predictions in for the new year. And we just pick one at random. And here's one that came in, a good friend of ours, a good friend of the show, Gretchen B., our very own homegrown Orlando, Florida comedian. And she called in or did a prediction on Prophet Radio. And the way you do that is go to ProphetRadio.com, click on the Be Heard section, and you can drop a message just like Gretchen B. did right here.
Hey, Deacon, it's Gretchen Bozert with ShortyGotJokes.com. I've got your predictions for next year. I predict that maybe I'll get my voice back if I'm doing it right. Just kidding. We know that's not going to happen. But I do predict that Nick Cannon and Eminem are finally going to make that sex tape together. And Josh Gordon from the Seahawks is going to make a comeback. He's going to break a record for the most trips to rehab. On a personal note, I predict my DVD's coming out, and I'm bringing the funny. And if I'm doing it right, some man somewhere next year is going to not say some dumb shit to me, and I'm not going to die alone with 19 cats and maybe get a second date. But if I don't see you, have a happy holiday, and I'm looking forward to an amazing 2020.
There you go. That's Gretchen B. And all you have to do is go to ProphetRadio.com, click on the Be Heard section, get your predictions here, and get a chance to win a $100 wine voucher from NakedWines.com. Now, I have just recently got out of freshly released from the pen. I have just recently got out of Facebook jail again. I know, Deacon, what did you do this time? What did you do this time? Now, we have a members only section, which is an extension of the Deacon Live podcast. What that involves is we have bad calls here to the station, which are mostly telemarketers. I essentially tell them to F off. There's one on there where I actually called them back several times, and they said to me, "Hey, why don't you want to talk to me?" And they literally goes, "'Cause you're annoying." And I'm like, well, isn't that, pot calling kettle black or sock on the other foot or whatever that analogy is. So that's up there as well. And there's over 100 and some odd different bad calls from different telemarketers on there. And there's a small joiner's fee for that. But here, I was posting something from the members only section on the Facebook page. And it had unless I told you what the actual picture was, I'm going to post the picture on the members only section. I'm going to post... It'll be on the members only section for you to see, and you can judge for yourself. Now, unless someone told you exactly what it was, I don't think you would know unless you're involved in that kind of, unless you've seen that view before. Now, as soon as I posted it, Bam, I was banned for 3 days. 3 days because of this little picture. You couldn't tell if it was male or female. You couldn't tell if it was, a body part or part of an animal or part of a fish, reptile, whatever the case may be. You couldn't tell what it was. But for some reason, the powers that be in Facebook thought that it was rude and vile, and I got banned for 3 days. So that picture is available on the members only section. Click on that, sign up for the members only section. There's some free stuff up there, and then if you want to enjoy a little bit more of the Deacon Live show, you can go on and on with that as well. So that's up there. Now, something that Prophet Radio is doing right now is starting tonight, December 20th at midnight, which means tomorrow, December 21st, we are playing unnecessary Christmas songs. And when I say that, screw the old because my wife listens to it all the time. The jingle bells, jingle bells. We were listening to something the other day. It was Frank Sinatra. It was like one take Sinatra. Jingle bells, rap it. Go, next song. Dash Santa comes down the sleigh. That's, next song. This is Christmas songs that necessarily or unnecessarily aren't the biggest hits, but it still has the Christmas vibe. And that starts tonight, December 21st at midnight, or December 20th at midnight, and runs all the way till December 25th. Now, here's the best part. December 25th at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, then Prophet Radio kicks it up into high gear and gives you the top 100 songs, gives you the top 100 rock songs, 100 country songs, 100 mainstream songs from the last 5 years. And that'll be played randomly, unrepetitively, all the way till January 1st. So make sure you sign up for that, listen to that, bookmark us, and get on board with that as well. And when we come back, I'll get into, I'm bacheloring it up the next couple days here. So I've got a lot of time to listen to you guys and a lot of free time to do everything else. And also, we're going to talk about beaches. I know it's not Christmas time, and I know it's cold outside, but people still in the coastal community still walk up and down the beach. And we'll get into that here in just a little bit. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you join our members only section, and the way you do that is just go to ProphetRadio.com and click on the members only section, sign up for that. It's free to sign up, and you can see we post a lot of pictures and stuff, and then there's a joiner's fee if you want to hear more or see more from the Deacon Live podcast. And also go to Deacon Live and click on the under the tent. You'll see all the videos from every single podcast that we've ever done and stuff right now. Like I'm waving to the camera. Hello, how are you? And you can see what goes on here. Oh shit, I didn't mean to hit that. Now that's going to open. That's going to screw up a bunch of stuff. So hold on one second. It's going to open up. It's going to open. Oh, there it is. I don't want that. And close that out. Yes, I'm sure. And one thing I'm sure of, have you guys gotten the flu, gotten cold? Are you guys out there that or I haven't. Of course, I have no human contact other than here in the studio and the couple times a week I go out to get food for the household. But I saw this on one of my friends' Facebook page. It is a remedy out there, and she's a nurse. I don't know what kind of nurse, and there's a lot of nurses out there, a lot of different levels of nurses. But here it is. I just want you to read this, or I'm going to read this to you. Just a reminder, a tip to avoiding the flu when it comes to working in hospitals or any time or any place that you've got a lot of human interactive and conductivity. There's a new word for you. Swab inside of each nostril with triple antibacterial triple antibiotic cream or gel before you leave home. So essentially, grab your little triple biotic, Neosporin, just say Neosporin, grab some Neosporin, put it on a Q-tip, and kind of wipe the inside of your nose. And what happens is, hold on, most germs enter the system through breathing. I used this tip when my son was a baby and had a immune deficiency, and then he used it in assisted living communities and the flu seasons, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, if you pick your nose and whatever, but, wipe the inside of your nose with some Neosporin if you go into high sick people's places. Like if you go see grandma. Go on, Jimmy. Go see grandma. She's sick. Hold on. Okay, you're good. You can't breathe. I know you can't breathe. Just breathe through your nose, though. Triple antibiotic. Oh, there you go. Now, I'm a bachelor. I'm a bachelor for the next 3 or 4 days, depending on how long my wife wants to stay out of town. No, actually, we have horses here on the French. We have horses, cows, dogs, chickens, cats. Did I say horses? Anyways, one of our horses, or a couple of our horses, are down in the Florida area, and these are show horses. So my wife goes down there. Someone drives the horses down there, and then trainers and riders, and she goes down there and watches them ride, and then she picks up lessons and tips and stuff on how to ride her horses. I know it's a weird thing. It's what they do. Anyway, so she's down in Florida for the next 4 days with her best friend, which is great. They're in the Ocala area. And so she's down there. She left this afternoon, and she won't be back until about Sunday, maybe Monday, depending on how all the riding lessons and the shows and everything go. So what do I have to do? I basically got the whole entire 20-some-odd acres to myself. But how do I feed myself? I bachelor it up. I bought pizza. Beer's a given. I got Doritos in there. I think I got peanut butter and jelly. I'm going to make chili because it's going to be freezing at night. When I say freezing, below freezing, it's going to be 24 degrees for the next couple nights here. Did I say pizza? Well, I got another pizza to put on top of the pizza that I forgot to tell you about. And then, I did some shopping for just odds and ends stuff for around the house. But yeah, I'm bacheloring it up. So I've got the next 4 days off. I say 4 days off. Listen to me. Oh my God, if she heard that, she'd be like, "What do you mean you got 4 days off? Yeah, I'm doing something for you and something. What do you mean you have 4 days? You got 4 days off from me?" No, honey. What I'm saying is, I got 4 days off from not having to plan my meals and your meals and our meals and everyone's meals and make sure the clock keeps on ticking, that type of stuff. But no, for the most part, I bought a half a gallon of ice cream. I got the frozen yogurt, trying to watch my weight a little bit. I don't want to eat that heavy shit late at night. But yeah, I bachelored it up this weekend, so it should be interesting, should be fun. So that's it. But we have joint bank accounts, so she can see everything that I buy. Like if I go to, now granted, there's no bars or any kind of casinos or any kind of nightlife or entertainment around here at the French. So, she could see literally like, joint bank accounts. She could, she keeps track of not that she keeps track of me, but she can see all the charges on the credit cards. God, I'm digging a hole for myself. I might as well just stay home and look at the wall. But, for people who don't have or do have joint bank accounts, when someone leaves, on a business trip or whatever, 3-day weekend, girls' night weekend, yay! You could see the bank accounts and transactions. But I guess I get joint bank accounts. Maybe that's another thing. Joint bank accounts. I don't know. How come you don't have the $50 I gave you? Well, I just spent it. Where'd you spend it? Well, I can't tell you. Well, all right. You bought a whore, didn't you? You bought a whore. That's why relationships are falling apart, because of unjoint bank accounts. Oh, God. God. What evil webs we weave. So make sure you stick Flu Glue up your nose. So yeah, I bought. Well, I eat pizza. I eat chili. And it's funny because I don't remember buying all this stuff like when I was alone, like a human, a single guy living at home. I actually made like pastas and chicken dinners and stuff like that. But next 4 days, 3 days, I'm not wasting all my time making all that stuff. I'm not going to eat it. I want something here now, bang, bang, bang. I want pizza. I want Doritos. I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that type of stuff. So that's what I'm doing for the next couple of days. So should be fun. Should enjoy that as well. Now, one thing that I want you to say right now to all you people out there, if you have a prediction for 2020, send it to us. Send it to us here at Deacon Live. We don't do resolutions. I'm not going to eat pizza anymore. I'm not going to eat Doritos anymore. I'm not going to eat all that crappy stuff in 2020. I want predictions. We were talking to Shane from the people from the Ethical Treatment of Shane earlier in the program. And if you give us a prediction, go to ProphetRadio.com, click on the Be Heard section. NakedWines.com will give you a $100 wine voucher, courtesy of Deacon Live. And what you do is you click on that, send us a prediction. And one of the predictions I came up with, just talking to Shane, was I think federal marijuana, or once the impeachment's gone, I think there'll be a docket somewhere where federal marijuana will be legal, or marijuana will be federally taxed through all the United States, because they still have problems with even the states that have marijuana changing that money over, because federal banks won't observe the money that's created through the selling of marijuana. So there's ways around it and stuff. I understand that. But I think in 2020, I think that's going to happen. And that's one of the main predictions that I have. So get your predictions in. And I'd like to hear them at the ProphetRadio.com. Click on the Be Heard. All right, when we come back, one more thing. Speaking of speaking of weed and doing great for the community, I know Christmas isn't here yet. I want you to think about that real Christmas tree that you have, and we'll get into that a little bit more, and how to upcycle your old Christmas tree after the holidays. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. So as the sun sets on this episode of Deacon Live, before I let you go, we're going to talk about the beaches and how you can help our coastal family with your Christmas tree. I know it's not Christmas yet, but when you're done with your Christmas tree, there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen with your Christmas tree that can help out a lot of communities. Now, listen up. Before I get into that, I want you to listen to this. I know. I'm very demanding. Very demanding. So a lot of people will walk up and down the beaches, even in wintertime, even in the cold season and stuff. People still walk up and down the beaches. Now, a friend of the show, Ian, has posted this picture right here. Beach walkers. And it's a little sign right before you leave the cutty and stuff and go out on the beach and walk down the sand. It says, "Beach walkers, please take a basket to the beach as to help to make a difference in collecting trash." Now, it looks like one of those when you go to the grocery store, just a little, I'm going to pick up carrots, celery, a loaf of bread, a thing of wine, that type basket, little plastic basket. So basically they're saying, if you're going to walk up and down the beach, take this basket with you and pick up some of the trash that's on the beach. And that just helps you out. And so there's a little picture right there. After disposing, collect it in an appropriate container. Please return the basket to the stand and then into the stand for other people to use. That's great. That's great. And that this picture actually comes from, hold on, I'm going to give him a plug, Into the Water with James. So if you click on or search for Into the Water with James, you can see all this. He's a very, very coastal guy. He wants to protect our shorelines. here in the United States. Now, another country that's protecting their shorelines in a totally different way is Jamaica. Now, anytime you go to Jamaica, or if you've ever been to Jamaica, it's a little, I don't want to say it's like a free-for-all. You know, if you stray away from the hotels, if you stray away, you know, from the establishment where you're supposed to go, people say, you know, be careful, be careful, be careful. Now, this one stand right here, speaking of marijuana being legal in the United States, Jamaica Hostel will give you a free joint in exchange for collecting 1 bucket of trash. Here's this German tourist. Believe it or not, it's possible to get high and save the world all at one time. All you have to do is travel to Jamaica, stay in a German hostel. Hold on, this word is it's a cram of Jamaican and German, so it's Jamaican, Germaican, G-E-R-A-M-I-C-A-N. In exchange for collecting a bucket of trash from the beach, the hostel will reward you with a big fat joint. That's what it says. So starting in July of 2019, they advertised free joints in exchange for buckets of garbage. As you might imagine, pot lovers were quickly to take up their offers. Now, I wonder if they give you the joint before or after you start picking up trash, because if you do it before, you'll be like, is that trash? Nah, man, just let it lie, you know. But I guess... So in Jamaica, there's a place at the German hostel, and I got to post that too. Post picture of German hostel on our members only section so you can see that as well. Weed for trash. Now, the main reason for the whole beach thing that I want to talk about is before the tree loses its fresh pine needles and the fresh scent, plan to upcycle that bush. God almighty, that came out wrong. To a waterfront view. Who doesn't like an oceanfront home? Well, your tree can have a second life and a greater purpose by acting as a natural sand fence while helping to build up the sand dunes. The wood and the branches help with erosion control, and nutrients are beneficial to the beach seagrass. There's a restaurant called Chico's. Chico's Pizza held its first annual tree drive. The restaurant partnered with hold on. Chico has partnered up with the Better Beaches OBX and has been collecting trees since 2013. Now, the owner of the beachfront restaurant, Mac Potter, said he would see trees traveling all the way down the Outer Banks. Potter says he expects to collect 100 trees in the next few months and even receiving up to 500. He hopes that this doubles amount this year. Now, what it means is they're putting up trees. It took about 12 trailers to transport the trees to the parking lot of the Islander Motel at Nags Head, North Carolina, on Ocean Boulevard Bistro, and a martini bar in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And what they do is they actually lay the trees out, and it creates a natural barrier for the sand to collect on, and the trees decompose, and they actually fertilize. You're upcycling your Christmas trees. Chico's, the second annual tree drive, runs from December 26th, which is the day after Christmas, all the way till January 16th. The trees can be dropped off at Oceanfront Chico's on 2820 Pacific Avenue. Anyone who drops off a tree can also get a large cheese pizza for $7.99. $7.99 cheese pizza? Come on, just give them $1 for the cheese pizza. Just give a cheese pizza away for free. Bring it. You're doing a lot. Who wants to Chico's double-edged sword there? For more information, if you can't pick up a tree, or if you can't bring your tree there, they'll pick it up for you. Email info@Chico's, and I'm going to spell that out for you, CHICHOSPIZZA, ChicosPizza.com, and they will actually make arrangements to pick up your Christmas tree and get it to the sand dune so it can live out its eternal life on the beaches, on the waterfront, and relax and retire, and all is well. One thing before I let you go, don't forget, Prophet Radio starting on tonight at midnight, December 20th, all the way till Christmas Day at 6 p.m. We will be playing unnecessary Christmas songs, guaranteed not to repeat. It's all the songs that you never heard before, never knew that were out there, and sometimes they're irritating, sometimes they're good, but for the most part, it's another alternative for your Christmas music listening on your Christmas Day holiday. After that, don't forget, we are doing the top 100 from the last 5 years. Top 100 rock songs, top 100 pop songs, top 100 country songs from each year. So that's all the way back to 2014. So each year, 100 songs from each of those categories from 2014. 100 songs from each category from 2015, and on and on and on till we get to 2019. Don't forget, make sure you get your predictions in to ProphetRadio.com. Click on the Be Heard section, get your predictions in as far as what you think is going to happen in 2020, and win a chance for a $100 wine voucher from nakedwines.com. Cutoff date on that is December 27th. On behalf of everyone listening to us, taking the time out from your day to give us a listen, I'd like to thank Shane from the People for the Ethical Treatment of Shane, the Pets program, and all our friends that have donated their time and efforts to the program. On behalf of myself, my name is the Deacon saying goodnight. And goodnight.
Oh no. Wait, come back.
Peter.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
All right, guys. Thanks. Take care. Good night.